are the most effective ways to speak to those that are outside of our world of parenting support or our world of research on these programs so that we can be the most effective voice for spreading parenting support more broadly?
I'm chuckling over here, Sherry, if you see me smiling and holding it back, because when I would come into those rooms with parenting programs in my purse, right, I always felt like I had, 20 things in my purse of tools if I was bringing parenting into the room, right? So if I was talking to someone and they said, that their senator was on the health committee, then I could pull out a solution from parenting programs with that data behind it that shows how participants in home visiting and parenting education programs, that their children are more likely to attend their well child visits, right? And if you're talking to that, workforce economic kind of minded person, I shared that story. I think there is something for everyone in the parenting research space, but sometimes what we need to do on the research end is we almost need to make little index cards. We need to code it and say, here's a health solution, here's a child welfare solution, here's an adult solution. And to me, some of that is the research that has been most exciting to me that I didn't know, Sherry. I mean, I came into this space knowing some of these things, but to learn that a healthy, attached child, young child with their parent, that attachment is not only positively impacting the brain and neurological development of that young child, but also of the parent. And that's the case even if the parent is not a biological parent. And as an adoptive mom myself, that was really meaningful, right? So again, thinking about how do we take all of this great data, all of this great research, all these wins that you and your colleagues on the research side are surfacing, and how do we really deliver that in bite-sized pieces and relevant pieces to the policymakers or the leaders who really need to hear it?
It sounds like that translation and that connection might even trickle down to how we share information to parents, and with parents to be, and parents throughout their parenting journey. Is there anything in your experience that you can share that helps us get the message out to parents?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. And it is very parallel, as you said. So in South Carolina, we launched a portal where families would come to us and would say, here's what I think I'm looking for. And so often the terms that they would put in is, I'm looking for daycare, I'm looking for childcare. But we would respond to that with a question of, are you concerned about your child's development? Or do you see that your child has challenging behaviors? And with those kinds of questions, we could then deliver to the parent who showed up thinking to themselves, and let's be real, I can't do this anymore. I need my child in childcare because I can't handle this anymore. And what we were able to deliver is, yes, we can provide you with a match for childcare, and we can also provide you with parenting support so that when your child comes home at the end of the day in the afternoon, you are excited because you have the tools, you have the resources, you have the knowledge to be able to solve for those developmental concerns or those challenging behaviors. So really delivering even when that family doesn't quite know what it is they're asking for.
So it sounds like an important lesson is taking advantage of those opportunities when a parent might be seeking help or support. That's an avenue to provide a rich amount of information about all of the possible helps and supports that might be available. Mm-hmm. And I love what you were, part of what's underlying here is that parents, they know something about what they need, but they may not know what else might be available. So it's sharing that information so that we become partners with parents. We're not telling parents what to do, but we're opening up that conversation and helping them think about and reflect on, how is my child doing and what else might I need? And that's a beautiful moment to step forward with some awesome programs, solutions, and supports.
Yeah. And Sherry, I would add in to that responsiveness that we have to be responsive not only to what it is that parents need, but where they want it and when they want it. And so, again, when we think about the range of evidence-based parenting programs, some are very brief interventions, some are longer term interventions. We have interventions that take place at the medical provider's office. We have others that happen in the home. We had some great experiences in partnering with parenting programs that happen inside of childcare centers when the parents are coming for pickup and drop off. So again, just thinking about the lived experiences of families. And I said at the beginning that it's important for us not only to think about the experiences of our families, but to be responsive culturally. Through Parents as Teachers and that board, I've learned so much about what partnering with Native and Indigenous communities looks like, and how listening and honoring and shaping these programs and researching them from the lens of the consumer, the user, the families at the center, how that can lead to better outcomes.
I think you've just highlighted some of the most important lessons about providing parenting support. Culturally sensitive, well-timed, accessible, and one size does not fit all. That sometimes we need a little bit of support, sometimes we need a lot of support. And some parenting models are built, like Triple P, that are even built on that idea.
Yes.
That not everybody needs everything all at once. And a lot of us can get by with just a little bit of information, but it has to be at the right time when we're able to actually hear that message.